Now, today's topic we'll be discussing why does Pisces ignore you and why silence is their loudest weapon. I'm going to break it down for y'all, but first I want to put a disclaimer out that the information I'm about to give y'all may or may not apply. So just take what does. Also, I want to give a shout out to all my fellow Pisceans out there. Gang, gang, you already know. We in the building. Also want to give a shout out to all my two twos and my three threes and my two twos and my three threes and my 7 7 7s. And shout out to any other angelical numerical numbers that I may have forgot to mention. I also want to thank everybody for coming out to support the channel. Thank you. And those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell notification to be notified of my upcoming videos and content. And we're gonna jump right in. Welcome Z Tech. What's going on? Uh what's going on, F Marie? How's it going? Yeah, I just started right now. Just got off work not too long ago. What's going on, Ronnie Boo? Welcome. What's going on? So what's y'all sign? What is y'all signs right now? Just so I know. What's y'all zodiacs right now? See, say as text it said just using the symbol as the A. Oh, okay. Are you a Libra? Oh, okay. It's funny. Well, I say this. I had an experience with a Libra, but it's like, how can I say it? Like we was cool, and then all of a sudden we ended up getting into um, how can I say it? We ended up getting into it because like it was like she I feel like she was trying to like set me up in such a way. Cause she was like, I didn't feel like she was keeping it real with me. It was like I always felt like she felt, you know, always felt like she felt some type of way, a different kind of way. What's going on, area? Welcome. Pisces gang, we in the building. Yes, are you a Pisces, F Marie? Oh, okay, that's what's up. Let me see, who is this? It said downstream Libra, a manipulator. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Well, that's exactly what I felt about the Libra that I knew. But I thought he was cool, but then like I felt like she set me up one time, and then I didn't trust it no more after that. Cause, she invited me over, and then all of a sudden we were supposed to do the do, and then we got to the point to do the do, but then she kept asking me like, what was I doing? She said, "Oh, you was supposed to like, you know, pull out." And then she said, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, "What? What did I do?" I didn't understand what she was asking me. And then next thing you know, I ended up getting robbed. So that's why I'm saying I don't really trust Libras after the fact, because I ain't say all Libras, because my sister is a Libra too. Hers is October 1st. But it was just that Libra set me up, and she didn't have to do that. Like I really thought we was cool. I thought we was getting somewhere, and then she snaked me out like that. I didn't feel like it was no reason for that. But she said that I had spoke on her husband, or I said something about her family or something, and it wasn't true. So I was just like, she just ran with that. Yeah, I got robbed. Yes. Said, "Oh no, it's deeper. You were targeted by someone using her." I felt that too. I felt like somebody put her up to that. Um, but then like I started to notice that she's just a snake, period. She's just a snake, because she'll suck you into like her dilemmas. And it's like as soon as you get caught up in, it's like she'll lie to you and make it seem like, other men want her. But then she tries to make it seem like other men want her because you're not showing her any attention. So I wasn't really trying to pursue her in such a way. So I think she took offense to that. Like it was a lot of, you know, it was a lot of I like to say power struggles going on with Libra, but it was like she would do a lot of things, and I ain't gonna lie. That's why I teach, and I always say when I like talk to you guys, I always say with Libra, it's best to you just gotta be careful what you tell them, and then like I say, be careful because sometimes as much as they may want to keep peace, sometimes they will tip the scale and get you, caught up in some type of drama, dilemmas that you wasn't looking for. Yeah, definitely. Said Libras are talented when they make up their minds. Yeah, they could be talented, but it's like sometimes I think they like to sit on the fence sometimes too. Like they rather have somebody else go out in there and do the work, but sometimes they don't want to be the leader. Um, so let me see. Let's see what this one is. What happened? You said, okay, someone said, hey, you gotta chill out. Hey, Smiz, bro, you gotta chill out, bro. Sir, you can't say those type of words, G. So hey, I can't show it on here. But yeah, that's why I say, you guys, just keep it clean. Like certain words you can't say and use because, like I say, it's just inappropriate. Okay, G-Tech said they do, but me, I'd rather do it myself. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think the Libra that I got into it with just had it out for me. That's just that one Libra. But I mean, I have a couple other Libras that I know, and we don't really talk much. And I think it's like I think maybe those particular ones felt some type of way because you know, I wasn't really getting together with those people. So I kind of been doing my own thing. So I think that could have been a reason why. Um, so let's see. Welcome Box Elder. Hope I'm saying your name right. Said I had a weird experience with Libras. Said I'm a Pisces, by the way. I'm a bit standoff. Short with the air signs. In general, I would say that Libras tend to be self-centered and presumptuous. Yeah, that's the I mean, what I'll say for my experience with that Libra, and then I know a couple other, guy Libras that, I mean, what I would say about the guy Libras is, like, I say, okay, so I'll say it like this, so that way I'm not sounding like, oh, like I'm a bashing Libras or whatnot. I feel like Libras are cool, but it's hard. But you got to be careful because sometimes you have to know where you stand with the Libras that you know. See, because sometimes like if you can assume that based off of a Libra's approach towards you that everything's all good between y'all two, and it cannot, and all of a sudden something goes down and it's like, wait, that wasn't supposed to happen. See, but you got to be careful because like if you say anything like about their friends or you say anything about their, family, something that you may not like about them, and you tell the Libra like, hey, I don't like your cousin, or hey, you know, whatever. They'll take offense to that, but sometimes they might not do it right then and there. They very diplomatic about how they go about doing things. So that's what can catch you off guard is that some people will say something right away like, hey, don't talk about my cousin, or hey, don't say nothing about my like they'll tell you straight up. But sometimes a Libra might not tell you straight up. Sometimes they'll wait, you know, and then all of a sudden catch you off guard one day, and then they'll be like, "Oh, that was for you talking about my cousin." Like, what? Like, what are you serious? Like, you just did me dirty, and now you talking about, oh, that was because you were talking about my family or something. Like, so you gotta be careful because sometimes Libra can wait, you know, as much as see the very thing. Um, they're not so much they're not so much indecisive as people may think. It's more of a strategy. So while they are pretending to, be on the fence and, waiting to decide, they're really calculative. They're very focused. They're very um balanced to where, so it's like they're balancing things because this is the thing. The the depiction of what a Libra stands for is more like the scales. And the scales, as I mentioned before, are more like a machine that doesn't stop. See? It's almost like an assembly machine that just keeps running and running. Doesn't really have to have a person on it, for it to run. So Libras can get to, like, with their intellect, they can really like wait some shit out. They can, they're very good at plotting, like, oh, let's come up with a plan to get this done, or hey, how, go about doing it in a slick way. But you gotta, I guess the things that are very tricky, aside from that, is things like charm, because charm is very, if anybody can make it, anybody can put a smile on your face and, make it sound good and throw you off at the same time. Okay, so what's welcome, Misty. Said saw what I yeah, yeah, that's the thing. I'm not sure what you meant by that, Misty, but maybe you was talking to one of them. I didn't get what you were saying. Box said, oh man, you hit it right on the head with your cousin analogy. I've had the same experience with a male Libra. I didn't want to hang with his cousin. Then after meeting him, and it said it pissed him off. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, well, it's like so after I got robbed, it was like I already had this. Okay, so I felt like I didn't really trust my intuition because I already knew like something was kind of fishy about the way she was behaving towards me, because she was beautiful, like she looked good, and I was trying to hit that. I ain't gonna lie. Like, and I was every time she hit me up, I was like, intuition was like, nah, man, just nah, don't go over there. Just chill out, fam. Like, calm down. I'm like, man, bro, I'm trying to hit, man. Like, intuition, I hear you, but I'm, I'm saying intuition, I hear you, man, but I ain't trying to, I'm trying to, get it in. So then when it was like, when it presented itself to me like, hey, yeah, you can get the cheeks. I'm like, oh, flew over there quick in a hurry. And then all of a sudden, I was not thinking like, oh, somebody finna rob me, like, afterwards. So it's like after, like, literally, we got busy for like, man, I'm talking about literally, I was only in the cat for like damn near like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, man. It was like about 6 minutes. And then she was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Like, I told you I'm not trying to get pregnant. She was like, You didn't pull out. You didn't pull out." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Like, I'm confused. Like, what are you talking about? Pull out for what? But she did that to stall me and slow me down and to give the dudes enough time to get to the door. And then when I walked outside, the dudes was in the bushes and they was like, "Hey, give me all your shit. Give me everything you got." And I'm like, in my mind, I'm just looking like, oh, hell no, bro. I only got robbed one time in my whole life. I'm like, bro, I'm looking at these dudes like, in my mind, I'm like, oh hell no, bro. Like, cause it's really when you feel like you move different, it's like you really never think you will ever get caught up in a jam like that. Not caught up in the jelly, but getting caught up in the jam. I'm like, really? He's like, oh, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't fucking look. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. And then I said, man, I'm not like in my mind, like I can't tell him that, you know what I'm saying, don't take a certain thing, because I'm like, bro, I'm just like, giving them stuff, they took my phones and all that shit. I'm like, bro, I really can't, like certain stuff I still had in my pocket, but I didn't let them like take it from me, because it was like I kept looking at dude's face, and every time I kept trying to look at him. He's like, don't look at me, don't look at me. But bro, you like, I'm 6'7". This dude like literally half my size trying to rob me, bro. I'm looking at dude like, bro, what is you doing, bro? Like you can't even. He was scared to go in my pockets. So I didn't let him take the wallet. I had the wallet, but I was just like, here, you can just take the phone. You take the phone, whoop de woo. But you ain't finna get in it, cause as soon as I walked away from it, guess what I did? I went in my phone and boop. You know how if you got to find my iPhone and everything, I'm like, boop, you ain't finna use it. It's a waste of time to take my phone, because you're not finna use it. But it was just like getting back to the Libra. I'm like, bro, you set me up. You know what she told me? I didn't know they was outside. I'm like, oh my God, bro. She said, oh, I didn't know they were. I don't even know who that was. I'm like, nah, bro. But then I said, you know what? I got you. I said, I got you. It's all good. And then I said, you know what? I threw a hex on that bitch, man. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you gonna have a hex on you. Yeah, it's gonna be very lovely how karma come back and get you. See? And I did it like that. I didn't tell her. Hell no, I didn't tell her what I did. I said, it's a matter of time when you finna get the belt to ass. This it's not over. See? So then I ended up finding out something happened to her, that I don't, it was unfortunate. Something happened to her, and I haven't seen her, heard from her since. So I don't know what happened. I know it's something bad, because that's not like her to not pop up or contact. Because she was still trying to contact me to try to make it seem like, oh, she ain't had nothing to do with the dudes. See? And I'm like, nah, bro. I hate that. I hate the fact that somebody, they know the truth of what happened, but they think they can like, you know, talk you out of your intuition. Like, oh, like however you saw it happen, they think you're dumb enough to realize like what happened. Like, come on, bro. I know you set me up. Like, it ain't no other way. See? So I was just like, whatever. But it's just that, remember I said if you don't listen to your intuition, it'll cost you. So that's why I was like, oh shit. And then it's like the worst feeling in the world is like when you knew and you didn't listen. Your intuition is just sitting next to you in the car, a quiet ride home, and the whole time your intuition is in. It's like a invisible being saying, "Why did you go? Like I told you not to go over there." Like I'm just sitting there, like, man, bro, come on, bro. Like it's like you versus your intuition. It's like, man, come on, man. Like you didn't have to even do. You didn't even have to go over there, bro. You could have just listened. Yeah, she got me. I ain't gonna lie, she got me good too. But it was because like I was chasing tail. I was trying to get another body. And I was only on in that shit for 5 minutes. I was in it for 5 minutes. I said, well, at least I still got it. Yeah, even if it was just 5 minutes, shit. I didn't get to finish, but oh well. It is. It happens to the best of us. Yeah. Hey, that's what I be doing, Oscar, man. I mean, hey, we talking about Libra. Libra. I feel like a lot of people, um, you know, I feel like a lot of people get deceived, like, cause I feel like so she said everything in such a way that didn't sound like it was something to worry about or something to like to be, oh, somebody's coming into something. It was just like all smooth words, you know, just the whole charm of, hey, I'm here, you coming over, okay, boom, I leave the door open, stuff like that. It wasn't like I didn't have a like feeling of nothing jumping off until it jumped off. Okay, yeah, who said I was in it? Yeah, definitely. I was in there. Yeah, 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, cause she pulled the whole, oh, hey, why did you do that? So I said, what did I do? She was like, oh, I told you, she said, I don't want to get pregnant, woo to woo, like, and then I was just sitting there like, I didn't, like, you're not pregnant, I didn't, but it would have me sitting there puzzled and thinking like, well, damn, did she, like, I had protection. I didn't understand what she was saying, but she did that on purpose to throw me off. And then I felt stupid because I'm like, you had the nerve to throw me off and gave them enough time to get in the damn bushes and rob me. Come on, man. Like, bro, like, Libra can get you just hemmed up like that. Libra man, they can do the same thing, but they're a little bit more. Okay, so in case anybody didn't know, but when it comes to it's like, okay, so when it comes to the seventh house, people don't understand that Libra is already an open enemy, in case you didn't know, just by nature. So there's no surprise that you're gonna have, beef with a Libra, because you will. See? So that's already an open enemy. So you can't escape that. So a lot of times Libra likes to control. See? They like to control things. And a lot of times they like to be entertained by dramas. That's why you find many of them being, judges, such as Judge Judy. And they get off on seeing people, they get off on opposition, people fighting each other and people, getting into it at the, it could be something that they rallied up. It could be something that they started. And then they get off on seeing two people having drama with each other. See? Because they're not going to play both sides anyway. So Libra doesn't take sides. That's why they can come off as being messy. Because if you tell them your side of the story, the Libra will act as if they, they'll act like they get it. Like, oh, I understand what you're saying, but then the person that you're into it with, they'll go over there by them and be like, oh, and hear their side and say, okay, I understand what you're saying. So it's like they don't really have your back the way that they tell it. Yeah, then it's like once the shit goes down, they can tip the scale in order to make themselves be at peace and balanced out. See, people think tipping the scale is for you. See, it's like, no, it's for the Libra. See, so if they tip the scale, that just means that they'll lie. They'll lie to keep their peace in the situation. They're not gonna sit there and look out for the best interests of you. See, and how you feel. So that's where the whole that's the misconception, and people actually might think that, oh, Libra seems to be the peaceful one in the most situations, but sometimes they can be sneaky and slick because they'll actually be friends, or I wouldn't even say be friends, but they'll actually join your enemy just to piss you off. And then all of a sudden, as soon as you get pissed off, it's like now it feels like you're fighting the Libra and your friend, but it's like it's all because the Libra is hanging around your enemies, like hanging around the very people that you're into it with. And it's like when you try to tell a Libra, like, hey, why are you hanging out with my enemies? They always say something like, oh, like they ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, oh, well, that's between you guys. So they want to be the judge in every situation that's dramatic and, full of drama. So it's like, oh, so where's the jury? Like, damn, I don't want the judge. The judge trying to have their own rules in their courthouse. And none of these rules don't apply to any other the people that came, to the court, the court hearing. It's like all these rules, they benefit the Libra. Because it's her court, it's her or his courtroom. See? Well, I had a Libra, I had a Libra. Well, I thought we was cool once again. And then all of a sudden I started paying attention to how he was moving. And I was like, man, I gotta cut him loose. This dude think he's slick. And then I cut him loose, and then he got mad. He was like, yo, why you unfriend me or something? He's like, why you unfriend me on social media? I said, cuz, bro, you moving funny. He was like, moving funny. And then he started calling me names like, oh, you a B and you this and that. And like cussing me out. I said, see, I knew it. I knew it, see? So you just confirmed why I unfriended you. So he went to I'm talking about, you would think that was just some petty, small type of miniature light of a situation. Nah, this man blew that up like it was something, big time headline news type of situation. Like he started trying to get into a fight with me or altercation. I'm like, bro, it's not even that serious. But but he kept saying like, I'm gonna get up with you. I said, all right, whatever, But it was just like I could feel that snake like energy. Because one thing about Libra is that people don't understand this is that they're peaceful to your face, but they plot behind your back. See, they're the zodiac sign that plots and plans. See, and they use it as a strategy. So when you ever dealt with someone that doesn't want you to know that they're after you, that's a Libra. See, and they're very good at making it seem like, oh, I'm on your side. I'm not, hey, I'm not against you. I'm here to keep the peace. And just like the aliens, I come in peace. Like, no, you don't. Like, no, you don't. But they have the swagger to match that type of behavior. So a lot of people fall for it, including myself. I fell for it that one time. I admit, but never again. But yeah, so today, I mean, it's so crazy, but like we're gonna jump into that this segment, you guys. Okay, so why do Pisces ignore you? And why is it their loudest weapon? Okay. Now, in case you didn't know, when a Pisces goes silent, it's already over with. See, um, like I say, a Pisces doesn't ghost, they just withdraw access. So hey, you may have had access to your bank account, but guess what? If a Pisces is behind it, your access to that bank account is over with, it's gone, it's expired. Um, who said that? Who said you haven't? Okay, oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, the mostly toastly, I mean, hey man, I mean, what about it do you feel is not real about it? And I don't, hey, don't lie and don't make up nothing, because I know exactly what you're gonna say. Oh, I can't understand it. You see, okay, so um Pisces don't ignore people for attention, just in case anybody wanted to know. Like I said, they ignore you when their intuition says that the whole engagement situation between the two of you is dangerous. See, so that's why Pisces will go to ignoring you. Okay, so now there's now the fish going upstream and the fish going downstream. Like I say, they both mean something different when it comes to this ignoring process. Now, let me make sure. One second, you guys. Okay, so yeah, when you're dealing with a the upstream Pisces, when they ignore you, it's more consciously controlled. So they will reply shorter to you, delayed responses. They just stop initiating. So that that's gonna limit the emotional depth between the two of you. So that's when you feel like, oh, you're dealing with a cold fish. You're dealing with someone that, hey, they stop responding, in other words. Now, let me see. Okay, mostly said you don't see the entirety of the person. You see the trait, and then you scribed it to the sign after you find out. And then he said, they could have hundreds of other traits that relate to other signs. Nah, see, that okay, you gotta go by the teaching. See, you gotta go by who's teaching what, because every trait is not the same for every sign. See, like every sign has different traits. Some, like, for instance, when a Pisces is ignoring you, just as I mentioned, they reply shorter. They don't they don't stick around. So if you're dealing with a fire sign, they probably won't ignore you. It probably would be done differently. So it's very controversial, but at the same time, they're all different. It's not nothing the same. It's just that people don't know what they're talking about. So they make it sound like, oh, everybody is just the same. But hey, even I, I'll say this, even when it comes to psychology, it's nothing is the same. Nothing is the same. Why do you think psychologically people have to go reverse? Why do you think people have to use reverse psychology? See? Because you can't do the same thing. You can't do something and say, oh yeah, this person is the same from this person. No. Like, even dog breeds and different animals are different. You could say they're all animals, but that would just be simple-minded thinking. Well, they're all animals. They all eating shit all at the same time. No, they all have different behavior, different traits. I mean, that's the thing. Okay, so it's a reason. Okay, first off, what you're saying is projection. See, you have no clue what you're talking about, and that's why you're here. First off, see, because you wouldn't even show up. You wouldn't even have a seat in the attendance watching this if you had absolutely no interest whatsoever. You wouldn't even be sitting here watching this. See, but obviously something led you to come here. Now, oh, you scrolling the YouTube live, but you still had to, hey, you still didn't have to click. See? So you still clicked on it. That's called an excuse. So what, you think excuses don't apply to certain people? You think, oh, it's gotta be a certain type of person? Come on, man, make sense of what you're saying. Don't come in here scraping and scrambling, bro. Cause you're gonna make yourself look dumb. See? Make yourself look stupid. You sound like a Sagittarius, mostly tostly. Yeah, you sound like you a Sagittarius. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, scraping and scrambling, that's we call scraping and scrambling when you try to make toast, you put butter on there, and see, when you scrape the toast, that's what you're doing. You scraping and scrambling. Cause you don't know how to just sit and just watch the video, so you start trying to do something to throw off everything. That's why I call it scraping, scrambling, or I call you a Skittle box. You know, okay, he a Gemini, so that okay. I was close. So hey, his opposite polarity is Sag. So hey, what do you say, Gemini? Yeah, exactly. I knew he was a Gemini because he came with that energy. But anyway, like I say, Geminis don't know what the hell they talking about from left to right, from tying their shoes. So hey, we can't take them serious, man. But yeah, replies faster. So like I say, another thing too is the Pisces will observe quietly. Um, they will protect their energy when they are ignoring you as well. Hey, like I say, you said you a Gemini. You said what? You said May 23rd. So hey, it is what it is, bro. But like we all know, you can't take no Gemini serious, fam. Don't ever do it. Cause they will say one thing and then they'll do another thing, and then they'll contradict the very thing that they said. So he's here because he actually knows that the traits apply to different signs, even though he just said he didn't. See, that's the thing. So another thing is a Pisces will test your sincerity. So that's another reason why they'll ignore you. Another thing too, a Pisces will do is pull back their affection. See, there's all different types of ways. An example, I go all day with this, but I'm giving you guys just the different examples of why a Pisces will ignore you. Now, another thing is because they may be hey, trying to, neutralize things. So this could be another reason why Pisces will ignore you. Now, maybe that Pisces is busy, or maybe they're trying to make room for other adventures in their life, and that may require them to stop, what they're doing with you, just to make themselves less available to you. So they have more, more free time for something else, something better. A lot of times a Pisces will ignore you because they're trying to focus on themselves. See, um, maybe they're trying to keep the boundaries. Maybe they feel like, oh, you're coming around a little too much. So that's the thing to look for. Also, a Pisces may ignore you when, hey, that's why they are detached calmly. See, you're not gonna feel it, not gonna notice it, and they may process things internally. So that's why they're not talking to you. See, another thing is a Pisces will test you just to wait for consistency, to see if you stay consistent in your efforts or what you're doing. Um, but that's the thing. The funny thing is that you okay, so if you look at the world, everything is an illusion. Okay. Everything is an illusion. So if you say something's not real, then do you even know what real what real really is? Do you know what real really is? I'm just being hey, answer the question. See? Because this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, how long would a Pisces ignore you for? You think it's just 24 hours? Do you think after the break is over, just a 30-minute break? No. A Pisces can ignore you for days to weeks. See? And no fuss given. So it is what it is. Now, the reason why is because the emotional overload, disrespect, and intuition warning. Okay. So yeah, the intuition will tell Pisces, hey, to ignore this person or MF. See? Now, hey, all the people that's coming in with the negative talk, man. Hey, just chill out, fam. Hey, you ain't gotta do all that, Just cut it out, man. Cut all that shit out, bro. See, bro. Now, hey, like I said, Toasty, just stick to the toast, man. You know, just stick to the toast. Don't come on here scraping and scrambling, bro. Hey, stick to the twins and hey, try to stick to the twins and stop trying to stop talking to your twins. Hey, how many twins you got, bro? Bro, man, listen, bro. Bro, listen. The whole thing, what you saying right now makes no, just stick to the toast, bro. Stick to the toast. Maybe, instead, get you some jam and just chill out, bro. Hey, hey, this is the truth, man. Okay, so look, downstream, downstream Pisces and how they ignore. And just know that they do this emotionally, okay? This is how it's done emotionally. This is how they do it. Now, what does it mean? Okay, so downstream Pisces, when they ignore you, it means that they already released you internally. Hey, it's already over with. You no longer mean anything. So don't be surprised by it. Now, I'm gonna give you guys the examples. No response at all. See? Because hey, when a Pisces is done playing with their food, there's no need to respond anymore. Hey, we're ready for dessert, right? But one thing that we're not ready for is toast. See? Now, another thing when a Pisces ignores you, and hey, they're the type 2 going downstream, going downtown, is what? Avoids eye contact. See? They don't want to see you. They don't want to look at you in the face while they're doing it, all right? Now, next thing, deletes the threads. See? In the DMs, the text messages. They don't even want to see your name. Hell, they might change your name to, hey, ignore that MFer. See? So that's the one thing to look at. Next is they just like I said, remove access. You may get blocked. See? Pisces may have just the emotional numbness that takes place. They can't even feel you at all. Where you coming from? The next thing is that a downstream Pisces may ignore you, but they may politely just distance themselves from you. Just distance themselves to where, hey, but it comes off polite when they speak to you, but they're still distant, keeping that distance between the two of you. Another thing is just no reaction to apologies. There's nothing you can say. Don't even try to send a letter. Don't try to send a card. Hey, I hope everything's all right in the mail. Don't do that because it's over with. You wasting your time, Sonny. Now, the next thing, the next thing is a Pisces. Hey, downstream Pisces just stop caring. Hey, maybe you should go ask Karen what she thinks, huh? And hey, maybe you'll find out. Another thing is that hey, a Pisces downstream, when they ignore you, hey, they cut the energetic cords. So there's no energy shifts taking place. See, it's not gonna happen. Now, another thing is it's one thing to ghost, but downstream Pisces, when they ignore you, they're gonna ghost you permanently. There is no coming back. There is no more anger left, no more emotions, no fucks given, okay? No curiosity. They're not gonna even be thinking about you anymore. Who is he? See? Who is that person? Next thing, no curiosity, no movement. But a Pisces, moving downstream, when they move, it's quietly, okay? Moving on quietly. Moving on quietly, moving on quietly. That's a good song, ain't it? And here's the thing. One thing about that downstream Pisces, they don't miss you, fam. So, hey, ain't no singing happy birthday or hey, reminiscing. Ain't gonna be none of that. No type of party. All right, hey Toasty man, you know what? You starting to get on my nerves, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But you know what? I got one thing to tell you, and that is what? Nah, 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 nah. Hey, goodbye. Yeah. The Geminis, they don't know how to stop, drop and roll, you know? So yeah, you know, make you talk until you taste the spit in your mouth. But it's better than somebody spitting in your butt, right? I mean, my fault. No Diddy. No Diddy, man. So we just let toast just be toast. All right. Now, the next thing is a Pisces just refuses. Pisces refuses the emotional labor. Yes, so we're not gonna do that. We ain't doing no 9 to 5 with that emotional labor going on. It's not gonna happen. And just know that downstream Pisces, hey, it's silence forever. Duh. Everybody can feel it. It's just like one of them people, hey, out and about in Japan, they hit that bell, boom, and Pisces say, silence, silence forever. And they make that noise, it goes, everybody can feel it. So that's the thing, when you being ignored, don't forget to hit the bell. You never know, you might need that notification, man. Yeah, man. Hey, what's good for us is good for you, right? Now, the next thing, how long? See, a lot of y'all might think a Pisces gonna change their mind. No. See, it's infinity. What's that? Buzz Lightyear. Ask him how long it's gonna be. To infinity and beyond. Yeah, you're not, that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be a permanent situation. See? Ask the owner of Gorilla Glue. Say, how long is this gonna stick? Hey, Pisces, how long is this Gorilla Glue gonna stick? Oh, it's gonna be permanent, my friend. Hey, that's how it's gonna be. Okay. Now, let me see here. Come on, man. I like to see the 777s going down. Hey, smash that like button, Let's keep it going. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to the cause of this, maybe it could have been some betrayal going on. Repeated disrespect. See, emotional exhaustion. Those are the things that could have set that Pisces off into going to ignore mode. See, now, people feel, how do people feel when a Pisces ignores them? No, but they saw the Z-Tech, you saw when the lady put that Gorilla Glue in her hair, though. Now, that hits different. See, you say you know how to remove it good with tape without sticky, icky. No, just like I say, he doing a lot of scraping and scrambling, too much scraping and scrambling, Abraham. Yeah, that Gorilla Glue is to snatch your hair right out. Yeah, it ain't no joke. So we asked ourselves, how does a Pisces ignoring you make you feel? Be honest, be 100% honest. See, a lot of people feel confused. Like, hey, why am I being ignored? The next thing is they may feel anxious. See, the next thing they may feel is rejected. See, another thing, they may feel powerless because there ain't nothing they can do about it. So that's a lot of times people feel unseen. They feel invisible. They feel, maybe obsessed with the whole fact of trying to, figure it out why. So that's the thing to watch out for, because why Pisces? Hey, that silence, it removes the emotional feedback loops that go on so that the cycles don't start spinning, so that there's no more cycling. After the bicyclist, hey, after he goes around and rides the bike, hey, when the ending comes, there's no more cycling, okay? Now, the thing about it, now we're going to talk about something different now, because I know that kind of got a little razzle-dazzle, but hey, everybody knows that why a Pisces ignores, so we're going to move on to the next subject. Now, the next thing is, what is Pisces' most powerful yet dangerous trait? See, what do y'all think it is? What do y'all think that is the most powerful, dangerous Pisces trait? I'm going to tell you what it is. Emotional detachment. See, it's dangerous, very dangerous. Now, a Pisces can love deeply, and then at the same time, they can leave cleanly, okay? They can leave with a nice, clean rag. Hey, for example, they can just leave cleanly, Just as they love deeply, so that's that emotional detachment that is the most dangerous yet powerful trait of Pisces. Now, how does it affect each sign? Okay. I'm gonna go through this quick. Okay. Now, think about it is Aries. When a Pisces uses emotional detachment against Aries, Aries feels challenged. See, now that could be a good thing or bad thing. Who knows? Only a Aries would know that. Now, Taurus will feel abandoned. See, a Gemini will start overthinking things. Cancer will feel unsafe. See, Leo will feel ignored. Virgo will feel rejected. And see, Libra will feel unbalanced. Scorpio will feel threatened. And I'm gonna do a video about that, about Pisces and conflicting with Scorpio, going into a whole deeper meaning of it. Now, like I say, Sagittarius will feel restricted. Capricorn will feel dismissed. And Aquarius will feel disconnected. And if it's a Pisces using emotional detachment against another Pisces, they will feel relieved. See, because two Pisces, if two Pisces get together, sometimes, it could be an emotional overload. But if, hey, you can't have two emotional beings that are being, just speaking to each other, emotionally draining each other, then it's almost like a breath of fresh air for a Pisces to use emotional detachment against another Pisces. Now, let's talk about the depictions, okay? So the symbol of the Pisces, everybody, well, I'll say this: the Pisces symbol, okay, where the two fish are connected to the rod that binds them together. Now, I got a bonus question for you guys. For those of you that think you're smart, maybe you will be able to answer this, and hey, get ahead of yourself. So, why? Okay, when it comes to Pisces, why can't they break from the rod? See, the two fish I'm speaking about. Anybody want to take a wild guess? Come on, are y'all still here with me? Come on now. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead. Did nobody want to take a guess? He said they love the picture that we feed them. I'm trying to tell. Okay, anybody else want to take a guess? Okay, so here's how I'm gonna break it down for y'all. Okay, so the rod, what that means, it is the intuition. In case you didn't know, and the rod, it okay. The rod means, okay, if you look at the rod, what it means is that it's the intuition. That's what it's like the depiction of. Okay, now when you look at the intuition, it's also connected to the emotion. See, so that's why Pisces can't break from the rod, because that of which is connected to is the intuition plus the emotion. Now, what does that look like in this reality? Now, that means loving and leaving at once. See? So that's why a Pisces can have that, deep love for you and then also break away from you and stop talking to you. See? And also staying too long. See? Staying too long. That's how it looks in this reality. See? Because Pisces, what usually happens? They may stay in a situation a little too long. Then, hey, they probably should have been left a situation alone, but most times they stay in a situation longer. Um, Also leaving without warning. See, this is how you can have a Pisces, start to, take their break at work when they feel like it. And that break might consist of them quitting or walking off the job. No one knows, no one knows where that Pisces went. but the Pisces himself or herself. So they can leave without warning, and that's because of the rod. That's because of the rod, meaning intuition plus emotion. And hey, that's what's going on when it happens. Now, next thing, feeling guilt, but not returning. See? So sometimes Pisces will feel the guilt and say, hey, I feel a little guilty about what I did, but hey, I'm never going back. See? So that's what that means. Now, next thing is, hey, being spiritually bound, but not emotionally weak. There is nothing weak about a Pisces. I don't give a damn. Hey, I don't care. I know a lot of people say, well, I know this one weak Pisces. He couldn't break a pencil. Well, hey, I mean, when it comes to fit, hey, you can look at that, but I guarantee you he can't break one. He probably just wanted to fool you into thinking maybe he wanted you to do it. So you gotta be careful. Now, the next thing is when people say that Pisces are stuck, they aren't stuck, okay? They're split they're split in between two things such as compassion and self-preservation. They're never stuck into a situation. Because Pisces is what? Considered the fish. They can get themselves out of mostly anything that they don't want to be in. They don't want to be involved in it. They know how to get out of there and get away from it. Now, when a Pisces ignore you, it's not random. See, it's by the intuition. So people, it's just not an emotional. It's not just emotions alone of why a Pisces is ignoring you. See, now, like I said, when Pisces goes silent, they go very silent. So you're not gonna hear them. You're not gonna feel them. It's almost like they're invisible. So it could be a couple days, couple weeks, but just know it's emotional detachment when it happens. Because this is one of Pisces' most misunderstood powers. See, how many of you guys can just be in love with someone and then all of a sudden you're gone? Saying, hey, everybody's like, hey, damn, he's a goner. See, if a Pisces stop just responding, that mean everything right there. Now, the next thing, let me see here. It could be difficult for a Pisces to speak again after all of this happens. Okay. Now, let me see. Now let's talk about vulnerability. Okay. Um. Good night, Abraham, and Merry Christmas to anybody that, hey, some people celebrating Christmas early. But yeah, let me see. Okay, so the next thing is how Pisces ignore people to avoid a vulnerability. Now, see, a Pisces, they don't, I just want to say this, a Pisces don't ignore you because they don't care. They ignore it because they care too much. Now, vulnerability for a Pisces could feel like emotional exposure, see, meaning the loss of control. So that's why a lot of times a Pisces will refuse to be vulnerable. That's why a Pisces will flip-flop on you. See, they might not want you to figure them out or know things of things that they don't want you to know about them or a situation. Now, Pisces, like I say, they ignore to protect themselves. Now these are the things, okay? So different traits where silence, silence is always used instead of what? Confrontation. It's even better to use silence than confrontation, be honest with you. And see, like I say, Pisces, they avoid saying certain things, including the truth, because once it's spoken, then what happens? See, it makes the bond real. Now, a Pisces also can give you delayed responses. You ask them to go do something, they may respond to it an hour to 2 hours later. They might say no. 2 hours later, they might say yes. 2 hours later. Now, what does this do for a Pisces? That time, it creates the emotional distance so that the feelings don't deepen. See? Because a Pisces can feel like, oh, if I respond too early or too soon, the other person may think that, oh, we are tightly connected. See? Now, another thing too is that Pisces will give you those surface level replies. What do those feel like? Well, like I said, they respond without emotions just to stop the intimacy from forming in the first place. See? Because sometimes you have to show people that, hey, I'm not that attached to you as as you might think I am. So sometimes when Pisces respond maybe an hour later, it's like it shows that, oh, he's not all that into me. See, or I don't have him out up by the balls. It's like, hey, he's actually not that interested like I thought he was. And but here's the thing, slow down, Mr. Cloudy Gaze. Slow down, buddy. You're pushing the speed limit here. I don't want to pull you over, okay? I don't want to pull you over for what you're saying and doing right now, okay? Hey, cause you're making me nervous. Now, another thing is when it comes to disappearing during the emotional pain or the emotional peaks of a situation. Now, that's where you will lose your Pisces the most, when feelings get intense. See, because Pisces, hey, they know what you're doing. So it's just like a Scorpio comes on the scene and then wants to, spread the wildfire with all their shenanigans and intense, emotions. So yeah, a Pisces is going to retreat. See, they're going to retreat to regain control. Now, another thing they may do is observe without engaging. See, that's what a Pisces does best, because why? They're watching your behavior instead of participating emotionally. It's cold-blooded. Another thing is yesterday we was talking about the mixed signals in such a way. So, like I say, why do you think a Pisces will use mixed signals? Well, its intent is to keep others unsure. Because what does that do? It prevents that emotional dominance over Pisces that oftentimes many people think that they have over Pisces, and they don't. Now, another thing that happens is, hey, when Pisces cut the access without explaining why, well, hey, they do this because if you explain it, what that does is that requires you to be vulnerable. See? But when you're silent, that doesn't require you to be vulnerable. See? That's the difference. Now, if we really say, for those of you knuckleheads, aka Boon Coons, aka Decepticons, aka Archons, Low Lives, Brainiacs, and Skittle Boxes, and Scraping and Scramblers, for all you that have said things about Pisces and said, oh, Pisces doesn't have a backbone. Oh, Pisces doesn't have any armor. Well, guess what? That's what Pisces silence means. Pisces silence is their armor, in case you didn't know. So go somewhere and sit down somewhere and shut up. See? Before a Pisces puts their foot up your A. So yeah, now you see it and now you don't. Now here's the thing. Why vulnerability is dangerous for Pisces. See? I'm gonna tell you why. Because Pisces don't open up emotionally anyway. See? They merge. See, you must merge with the Pisces. And then, like I said, then you will start to understand Pisces better, but you're never going to get them to be vulnerable. See? Because Pisces always knows that somebody's always up to something. The intuition tells them so. And see, once a Pisces is vulnerable, that's when they risk everything for themselves. Why? Because losing identity is one. Staying in mystery is two. See? Stay in the mystery. That's what Pisces has to do. Stay mystic and stay a mystery. Unpredictable. And hey, Pisces doesn't want to lose their identity because they're authentic. So another thing that can happen once they are vulnerable is that they can absorb other people's pain, and they can do it quicker than you will realize. Now, another thing is once a Pisces is vulnerable, they risk being emotionally drained. See, what good is that? And or being manipulated. See, so if a Pisces is ignoring a person or situation, it's for self-preservation, not punishment. So they're doing it to what? Protect themselves. Now, who makes Pisces the most vulnerable by the zodiac signs? Okay. Now, we're going to start off from the highest to the lowest. Now, the most vulnerable, the highest risk. Now, this is a risk that you take from dealing with such a sign. Scorpio. See, Scorpio already has the emotional depth that matches Pisces. Also, they have the psychic level bond. So that way, it's almost like the Scorpio is somewhat merging when they both have the psychic level way of knowing things. Now, also, they both have the power struggle. But this is the thing. Scorpio has the power struggles plus obsession. See? But the problem for Pisces with Scorpio and why Scorpio makes Pisces the most vulnerable is because Pisces loses control fastest here. See? Because when Scorpio obsesses and fixates on something, 9 times out of 10 they end up taking over. See? So that's something to watch out for. Now, Cancer is the next one. Cancer feels emotionally safe. Okay. Also, Pisces can open up fully when they are with the Cancer. That can be a risk for you, Pisces. And see, Cancer creates emotional dependency. So they'll do things for you. They'll cook for you. They'll do those very things that, hey, you might not want to do, Pisces, but the risk is they can, make you the most vulnerable with it. Now, another thing is Cancer, because they have the emotional dependency, then what ends up happening is that Pisces may start to ignore, and then all of a sudden at the same time get overwhelmed. See? So you got to be careful. Don't let don't let no Cancer catch you by surprise with that. Now, the next thing is Virgo, which is Pisces' opposite sign. And see, Virgo sees through Pisces illusions. And see, they expose the flaws and they do this deeply. So with Pisces, a lot of times they can feel emotionally naked around Virgos. See? Now, when it comes to just that moderate vulnerability with Capricorn, okay? And as like I say, it's at a moderate pace. So they oftentimes can ground Pisces. Yes, with a Capricorn. Um, with a Capricorn, they can make the emotions real. So what tends to happen is that Pisces ignores to avoid accountability when this happens. Now, Taurus provides stability for Pisces, and sometimes that's what Pisces craves. But at the same time, a Pisces can fear losing themselves in being too comfortable. So that's the reason why they have to watch themselves with Taurus, because the Taurus can be a sneaky mother effer too. When Pisces does this, when Pisces gets into the whole, state of mind of feeling it and being too comfortable when they are with a Taurus. Now, low vulnerability, which is safer for Pisces, will be signs such as Aquarius. Why? Because Aquarius is emotionally distant, but Pisces stays guarded at the same time. Now, a low vulnerability as well that's safer for Pisces when it comes to Gemini is because Gemini is mental, not in a crazy way, but mental over being emotional. They're more mentally stimulated. Now, Pisces, when they are with the Gemini, they never fully open up, see, in the first place. So this is why those two signs are considered safer for a Pisces when it comes to the vulnerability situation at hand. Now, the next thing is the truth most people miss. Okay. Pisces don't ignore when they feel nothing. See, they ignore when they feel too much and they don't trust themselves not to drown in it. That's why they go silent. See, now another thing, like I say, now this is a now this is a mic drop for you, okay? Because when a Pisces ignores you, it's not coldness. It's like I say, emotional self-defense tactic that they use for themselves to protect themselves in case anybody still wondering. Now, the thing about it is how does each sign try to manipulate Pisces into being vulnerable? See, because they're gonna notice that they can't do it, so they're gonna try to be slick about it. And the thing about it is, this is both consciously, this is both done consciously and unconsciously. Now, Pisces are naturally open, but see, the thing about it is, when they're naturally open, manipulation can't enter. See, so manipulation usually isn't forced, but it's emotional positioning that happens. See, so that's the thing that Pisces has to watch out for, and that's the way that it actually comes. Comes at you from an angle like that. Now, Aries, Aries will bring urgency and pressure. See, so this is what they'll use to manipulate Pisces. The tactic is to push fast and get those emotional reactions, as if it were like a game at the theme park. It's like, hey, how many balls can I throw into the hoop to get the reaction that I'm looking for? Except for they're doing it with Pisces, trying to piss the Pisces off. So why won't you just say how you feel? That's what a Aries will say to a Pisces. And then also they'll say, they're saying that because they're trying to create conflict to provoke emotion in that Pisces. Aries be thinking they slick, but they be a lot of times they self-destruct when they're trying to hurt a Pisces, in other words. Because Pisces can see through the illusion like no other, or whatever it may be that the Aries truly wants in the first place. So that's what Aries has to watch out for with Pisces. Now, the effect on Pisces that Aries can have is they could trigger the emotional overwhelmingness that I was referring to. So they can stress you out, Pisces. With Aries, their behavior and whatever they're doing to manipulate you, they can really piss you off and just emotionally overwhelm you. And what this is going to do to a Pisces eventually is that they're going to shut down, or they're just going to disappear from that Aries. See, now Taurus is, they'll bring the comfort, the stability, and the dependency. And see, the tactic is for that Taurus to make you feel, safe. So it's that safety and consistency that Taurus brings to a Pisces. Now, the thing about it is, the Taurus may say things to a Pisces like, "Oh, you're safe with me," you know, and then all of a sudden that could create that emotional routine. So it feels like, oh, it's going to be like this every day. The effect that it can have on Pisces is that, yeah, a Pisces may, open up and then panic about being, you know, um, losing basically that independence that they had. See, now the next one is the fact that Gemini, they could bring information, but it's almost feels like um they're coming with like information mining. See, it's almost like they're collecting so much data and they're trying to use that information to be a tactic because of curiosity and questioning. See, but it comes off as, light, playful behavior. It comes off like everything's all lighthearted and fun loving and whatnot, playful energy. But it's also like a tactic because they probe by adding questions into the scenario. And see, when it comes to when it comes to the effect that it can have on Pisces is that Pisces feels exposed without realizing how it happened in the first place. Now, the next one is Cancer, and what Cancer could come with is emotional mirroring. And see, the thing about it is the tactic is shared vulnerability. So it could be used as projection from that Cancer, which is deadly because they can get a Pisces to open up emotionally. So sometimes sometimes a Cancer will tell a Pisces, like, I feel exactly like you, Pisces. And see, that can make a Pisces feel understood, but it also could be manipulation. And see, the effect that it has on the Pisces is that a Pisces may feel bonded to a Cancer deeply and then become emotionally dependent, but at the same time, they'll retreat once they realize that, hey, it was only manipulation from the Cancer. It's cold-blooded. So next one I have is Leo. With Leo, when they come on the scene, they're gonna bring the validation and then the attention. See, the tactic can be used to praise and give that Pisces the spotlight, but it can make a Pisces feel special at the same time, but it also will bring the emotional reinforcement. And the effect that it has on Pisces is the fact that Pisces will open up for that approval. And hey, they may feel owned, but once they feel owned or they feel controlled by that Leo, guess what they're gonna do? Pull back, see, to regain control. So that's the thing. Like, gotta be careful. When these signs want you vulnerable, this is how they gonna come at you, Pisces. So beware. Now, the next one is Virgo. And what does Virgo bring? Psychological analysts. So when the tactic of why this is used is because they want to gently critique you, Pisces. So they might say something to you to make you calm down, like, oh, I just want to help you grow, Pisces. And then all of a sudden, that points out the emotional blinders and and then also the locations of those spots, see, of where they are. So they're basically trying to peg you, in other words, for for you to be vulnerable. Now, the effect it has on Pisces, the fact that Pisces feels seen too clearly, because you got to think this Virgo is bringing a psychological analyst to you. So that can make a Pisces feel vulnerable, and it can make them feel unsafe at the same damn time. See, now, Libra, of which we talked about at the beginning of the live, brings emotional balancing. Now, the tactic used behind this would be what? Fairness and harmony. But what ends up happening is that the Libra can frame vulnerability as healthy. See, try to fool Pisces into thinking that, oh, this is healthy for you. But at the same time, they might still be acting as if they're still, encouraging Pisces and sharing the peace with them. But the effect that it has on Pisces is that when a Pisces opens up to avoid the conflict, a Pisces may resent it later, like me, when I was like, damn, I shouldn't even went over there. See, could avoid the whole situation altogether. So that's why I said I felt that it ain't even that I felt. I knew that I was manipulated to even go over there to get the the little the cheeks, you know. Now, Scorpio, they come with the intensity and the depth, okay? So that tactic used here is emotional gravity. Why? Because the Scorpio will give a Pisces deep eye contact. See? And then that silence, it becomes a mystery. But the effect that it has on Pisces, the fact that Pisces loses control fast when this happens. But then they retreat to survive this whole situation. See, because it's almost like a Pisces can lose their identity, and they can feel drained by the Scorpio. But at the same time, once a Pisces feel vulnerable, they're going to retreat anyway, just to survive the situation. Now, Sagittarius, they come with that philosophical opening. See, how does this look as a tactic? Well, it's like the whole big picture, and they try to use that, the honesty as a big picture, in such a way. Now, they may say something like, oh, hey, the truth will set you free, Pisces. But they basically are encouraging the emotional disclosure as growth. See, and then the effect that it has on the Pisces is that a Pisces can open up spiritually, but then regret the whole emotional exposure. See, that it gives. So that's the thing. Now, Capricorn, they can bring structure and security, but like I say, when used as a tactic, this would be a stability exchange. But sometimes they would what they may preach or hey try to get the Pisces they may try to get the Pisces to open up so that they can build together with one another, but vulnerability will require commitment. See, so the effect that it has on Pisces is that a Pisces can feel trapped and just totally just avoid, the Capricorn emotionally altogether. So the next one is Aquarius. So when Aquarius come on the scene trying to manipulate Pisces, they're going to use intellectual distancing. So when it comes to the tactic, this is to what? Get detachment, see? To get the whole detachment situation. It's like they want to detach from the Pisces after they make the Pisces vulnerable. Now, the thing about it is an Aquarius can, act unaffected. See? They can act unaffected and act as if, like they say, acting as if unbothered, in other words. But that can create the emotional scarcity, see? And then all of a sudden, the effect it has on Pisces is that Pisces chases emotionally, but later withdraws. See, once they realize that, that the Aquarius doesn't really care. See, now Pisces dealing with another Pisces that's trying to manipulate them. Well, merging, they're going to use merging and self-sacrifice. See, now how does this look as a tactic is the fact that this is called emotional blending. So yeah, one may give without boundaries. See, and then one may open up too fast. See, and that's the thing you gotta watch with another Pisces that to know if you're being of the to know if they're trying to make you vulnerable by manipulating you is the fact that they'll start over giving. They'll start giving you a lot of treats and gifts and all kind of stuff to get you to open up, to be vulnerable to them. At the same time, you may open up too fast. See, because of it. The effect that it has is deadly because it's gonna burn you out. See? And then it's going to push you into isolation. So you have to be careful because why does this stuff work on Pisces? It's because Pisces absorbs emotions. See, and then oftentimes a Pisces may seek emotional meaning from situations and things, and at the same time, some Pisces may feel responsible for other people's feelings. See, so the manipulation it isn't control, but it's emotional access that people are trying to get from you, Pisces. This is why they come at you in such a way. That makes sense because they know that when you ignore them, that's exactly what you're doing. You're taking the emotional access away. See? So that's why people try to make you emotional in order to have access to you and control you. It's cold-blooded. Now, another thing is, like I say, a Pisces doesn't get manipulated by force, in case you didn't know. See, the only way a Pisces gets manipulated is by their feelings. It's cold-blooded. See? Because a Pisces emotion is like a surfboard. It helps carry them through the tides. It keeps them balanced because they have mastered it. So as they're able to control how they feel, that's what keeps them safe until someone comes and manipulates them. And when I say them, I'm referring to feelings. See, because that's going to change the direction of where the Pisces was going. If that makes sense to you. Now, another thing is what does the 12th house have to do with it? Okay, so why is the 12th house rule deception and hidden enemies? This was a question that a subscriber had, and I just want to answer this for you. So, subscriber asked, why is the 12th house like? What is it? What is deception? and the hidden enemy situation, what does it mean? Okay, so to answer this, it's the fact that the 12th house represents the subconscious. Okay, it's what you can't see. It also represents what operates behind the scenes. See, is there what you can't see? You can't see what happens behind the scenes. Things that we don't consciously see. That's like the easiest way to put it. Now, another thing that the 12th house represents is self-undoing. See, we talked about that in previous videos. Another thing, sacrifice, isolation, being to yourself, not so much being alone, but the solitudeness that comes with it. Institutions. Remember when we were talking about, ignoring someone feels like a prison sentence. That goes to the 12th house, what it actually rules. And it comes to institution. When a person is institutionalized, they've been in the prison system, they're not going to be the same that they, as the way they came into prison. See, they don't leave this as it's like once they become institutionalized, they will leave a whole different person than they were when they actually when they first came. So that's something to look at. Also spiritual realms and shadow realms. See, and these are things you cannot see with your eyes. Okay, now here's the thing: it rules what exists without form. See, that's why I say us Pisces are formless. See, so we take form of what surrounds us, in other words. Now, enemies, let's go to the hidden enemies now. Enemies here, okay, let me slow down. Let me get some water, something to drink, you guys. So I had to break this down for y'all. Now, when it comes to enemies here, I have to break this down to you guys. Now, it's real recognized real and only gets realer from here. I have to break this down to y'all because this is what's really going on. Okay. The enemy situation, hidden enemies, of which we call them enemies here, they aren't obvious attackers. So you don't see them. You don't even know they're there. I just told you. See, they are invisible influences. These are your hidden enemies, Pisces. Now, why the deception? Well, because deception works when you trust people. Oh, when you tell people, I trust you, I trust you. I don't think you'll do anything to me. You just birthed a hidden enemy, dude. That's how deception enters, through you trusting people. Also, when you assume that one has goodwill intentions. So you're like, hey, this person cares about me. Hey, this is how deception enters, right? Now, another one is that you don't look directly. See, you don't look directly into situations. That's how deception creeps in. See, now, Pisces is the natural ruler of the 12th, meaning they see the meaning. They see the meaning, not the motive, automatically. So that makes deception possible at the same time. Now, here's another thing. Why does Pisces attract hidden enemies in the first place? It's because of your energy, Pisces. Why is that? Because you are compassionate, you are non-confrontational, you absorb emotions, and you give the benefit of the doubt, and you see potential over behavior. That's why you attract hidden enemies. It's cold-blooded. See, and also this creates unintentional access. Man, I'm telling y'all, bro. This this creates unintentional access. So hidden enemies, they thrive where boundaries are soft. It's cold-blooded, man. I'm telling you guys, like, if you wake up and actually see what I'm saying, you will be like, damn, it makes sense. Hidden enemies are where your boundaries are soft. See? It's just like playing that one game. What is it called? I forgot the name of it. It's like a game where you build and then you got to keep the enemies out. And it's like if you build a soft, like a soft, not Fortnite, but it's like if you build a soft, like, boundary somewhere, the enemy's gonna go there first. See, because it's an easy way in. See, and that's the same thing. So I use Minecraft. Minecraft is the game I was talking about. Okay, so look at Minecraft. You have to make sure you set strong boundaries because the hidden enemies, they're gonna go there. That's how they thrive. Now, who are Pisces hidden enemies? I'm gonna give you guys some examples. They are patterns. See, they're not villains. See, a lot of Pisces thought that, oh, it was somebody to look for. No, your hidden enemies are hidden for a reason. You can't see them. So they're not villains. They are patterns. And see, what do patterns represent? Cycles. Oh, now we talking, right? What do cycles represent? Illusions. See? And see, the thing about it is, what is the first one? What is the first hidden enemy? What is the first pattern? The first pattern is the dependent drainer. See, who is this? It's your friends, it's your family, it's the partners who always need your help, Pisces. That's the hidden enemy. Somebody that always needs your help every goddamn time. That's your hidden enemy. And see, how do they harm you, Pisces? They harm you because they take your emotional energy while giving you nothing back. It's almost like you're doing it for free. You don't get anything out of it. See? And then why is it hidden? Why is it hidden from you in the first place, Pisces? They appear vulnerable or grateful. See? That's how they get you. You have to wake up, Pisces. You have to wake up. The next hidden enemy is the quiet competitor. See, who is this person? Someone who smiles in your face, supports publicly, but they envy you privately. It's cold-blooded. See, how do they harm you, Pisces? They harm you by subtle sabotage. See, withholding information from you, passive resistance. That's how they get you. And why is this hidden from you? Because there's no open conflict. Cold-blooded. You see how even if you have no boundary where conflict is, that's where the hidden enemy is going to use to attack you, Pisces. Oh, you avoid conflict? Okay, bet. That's going to be my entrance. See? Now, the next one is the next hidden enemy for Pisces is the projection person. See, the only way that a cycle starts is through a pattern, which is a hidden enemy, and is fueled by projection. I told you guys this. The projection person. Pisces attracts people that like to what? Project. Because they want to project these false illusions to you just to have somebody to blame. So here's the thing. Who are these people these project persons that are Pisces hidden enemies? Someone who blames Pisces for their own flaws. See? And how do they harm you, Pisces? By gaslighting you, guilt tripping you, and rewriting history. See? Now, why is it hidden from you, Pisces? It's because Pisces absorbs and gets blamed easily. See? Gets blamed easily. Now, the thing about it is now that the next hidden enemy for Pisces is the confidant who leaks. See? Now, this person is somebody Pisces trusts with their secrets. Now, how do they harm you, Pisces? Is because they share private info accidentally or selectively. That's how they get you. And why is it hidden from you, Pisces? Because that person appears loyal to you. See, the next hidden enemy for Pisces is the spiritual leech. See, and this person, who is this person? This person, hey, these are people that are drawn to you, Pisces, for your healing energy. How do they harm you? They harm you. Hey, they stay stuck while they stay stuck while draining you, Pisces, of your empathy. See? Now, why is it hidden from you, Pisces? Is because they frame dependence as a connection. It's cold-blooded. It's tricky. The next hidden enemy for Pisces is the authority figure. See, who is this person? This is your boss, your mentors, institutions. And how they harm you is they take credit for your work, minimize you, Pisces, to others, and then they overwork you. See? And then why are they hidden? Because of the power imbalance. This is what silences Pisces. See? Now, the next hidden enemy for Pisces is the false savior. And see, this person, who is this person? It is the people who promise protection or guidance to you, Pisces. And how do they harm you? They harm you through control disguises as help. See? And why are they hidden from you? It's because Pisces wants to believe in the good in everyone. See? So you notice at every given time that you will basically not listen to your intuition, because your intuition will protect you from your hidden enemies. That's what it's going to cost you, is the things that I'm mentioning right now, if you haven't noticed. Now, the next hidden enemy, okay, so the hidden enemy, if you to kind of claim it in a nutshell, to put it all in a nutshell, the big truth behind this is that Pisces the most biggest hidden enemy for Pisces is the unconscious trust. See, the unconscious trust. So every time you unconsciously trust someone, that is your hidden enemy. You heard that from your big bro real. See, now it's not malice, but what it is misplaced compassion. See, now how can a Pisces identify hidden enemies? I'm gonna give you guys the practical signs here, okay? You have to do an energy check. See, you have to do an energy check. You know how you would check someone's temperature to see where they're coming from? You have to do an energy check on the people that are around you. See, after your interaction with someone, ask, do I feel clear or heavier now? See, because your hidden enemies, they always leave behind residue. Yes. See, the next thing, you need to watch patterns, not words. See, because of the cycles, and see who benefits when Pisces sacrifices. Who disappears when Pisces sets boundaries? See, that's what you got to pay attention to. The next one, you have to notice the delayed consequences. Because why? The 12th house, the 12th house enemies, they don't strike immediately. No. See, the damage appears later. See, and that goes, and how does it look to you, Pisces? When the damage appears, missed opportunities, emotional exhaustion, and confusion. The next one is the silence test. See, Pisces stops explaining or helping a person or situation, then the hidden enemies, they react with guilt, passive aggression, victim narratives. So that's what to watch out for. The next one, dream and intuition signals. So when a Pisces often feels betrayed when it's visible, these are the things, the uneasiness that you feel, reoccurring thoughts, Then avoidance impulses that you get. See? So it's not about being paranoid, Pisces. It's just for you to subconsciously be aware and collect this data. See? So that way you know your enemies instead of not knowing your hidden enemies. Now, why does Pisces struggle to see their hidden enemies in the first place? Because the 12th house enemies, they don't attack openly. See? And then you often don't see them, and often they don't even see themselves as enemies. That's cold-blooded right there. See? And also, they are intertwined with emotional bonds. So these are people that you may feel you have an emotional bond with, and not even knowing that they're your enemy, that they are your 12th house enemy, and they don't even know that they're your enemy. That's cold-blooded right there. See, another thing is, how does a Pisces protect themselves from such a thing, from 12th house enemies? Through boundaries, over explanations. Because when you explain, what does it do? It makes you vulnerable. How do you hold your power, Pisces? Through silence. Silence is your armor. See, distance over confrontation. Creating the distance allows you to what? Keep the control. See? And if you were to lose the control of yourself, meaning your emotions, or hey, just your focusedness, then you need to pull back. See? So distance over confrontation. The next one I have is observation over reaction. Don't react. Because if you react, then that means that you're wounded. The next one I have is compassion with limits. See? You gotta know how to nip it in the bud. Now, just notice, you guys, Pisces enemies, they don't come with knives. See, a lot of people thought the hidden enemies is like, hey, they come with some type of weapon or a sword or something or a knife. Or no, they don't come with knives. They come with needs. Needs. They're needy. They're very needy. Pisces, help me. Pisces, do this. Pisces, take me. Hey, give me a ride. Pisces, can I have this? You do this? They are constantly asking you for things. They're needy. Now, the thing about it is, so let's talk about this. Okay, so next I'm gonna break it down to you guys. Your hidden enemies, they come from the 12th house. Now, the seventh house. The seventh house, now this is where your open enemies are. See? And then when it comes to the sixth house, these are your daily friction enemies. Those are the ones you can see. See, those are the ones that you don't have to, hey, guess and think about. Because those are the daily friction enemies, the ones that just do little shit that is like, hey, man, stop. I see what you're doing, and you're annoying. You know, now Pisces and enemies by the house, and we're gonna talk about the reality and hey, the reality and what's a myth, okay? Because the 12th house represents hidden enemies, and I'm gonna tell you the most dangerous ones, okay? Now, hidden enemies, as I said, they are people who appear to be supportive. They don't confront directly, like what you're used to. They drain you, they confuse you, or they just sabotage you indirectly. See? Now, the top signs that become Pisces hidden enemies most often are cancers. See? Yes. Because cancers, hey, I know it sounds shocking, but it's real. See? Why? Because emotional manipulation. Anybody know a cancer and they behave like this? Hey, write 333, type 333 if you have a cancer that behaves like that. Now, why is that? As I said, guilt-based control. Yes, because sometimes a cancer will guilt trip you. See? Also, the silent resentment. See? Now, how does that happen? Because the cancer bonds deeply with you, then feels unappreciated. Also, the Cancer, instead of them addressing the situation to you, they withdraw or undermine emotionally the whole situation. Now, why is it hidden? It's because of the emotional closeness, and it masks itself. It masks the competition or the resentment that's taking place. See, between you and that Cancer. So that's why they are they could be a hidden enemy like no other. The next one, Scorpio. Why? Because of the power struggles, a beneath the whole loyalty aspect, and then also the control over the emotional information that is given between the two of you. So how does this happen? Because because the Scorpio, they sense a Pisces vulnerability like no others. So they know when you're open, they know when you're weak, they know when you're actually out of your element. So they use silence and secrecy in that intensity to maintain the control and the leverage. See, so you have to we got to watch that when you're around Scorpio. Why is it hidden? Because it appears protective, but it keeps score. See, so then that Scorpio manipulates you into thinking that, oh, I got your back, Pisces, and then all of a sudden you let your guard down, and that's how it looked like it was protection, but the whole time the Scorpio was just keeping score. See, now Virgo, which is very common as someone that is considered a hidden enemy. Why is this? Because of the Judgment card. They can use judgment and have it disguised as help. So they try to blend it in together. So that can make the whole, you know, quiet superiority type of, situation. So how does it happen? Because Virgo tries to fix Pisces and oftentimes does. Now, also at the same time, they may resent Pisces fluidity, how they move and how they, able to, use the whole emotional detachment situation. Or it could be the fact that a Virgo may undermine the confidence subtly of a Pisces. See, now why is it hidden? Because the criticism, it sounds practical, but it's very okay. So the criticism, it sounds practical, not hostile, and that's why a lot of times it's hidden, and a lot of times that's when you don't even realize that a Virgo is doing so. See, you don't see that you don't look at it like, oh, is there some ill will intent behind it, because they make it look like, oh, I'm just trying to help you. In other words, now Capricorn can be another hidden enemy for Pisces, because why? They can exploit Pisces loyalty. At the same time, they can use structure to dominate Pisces. And how does this happen? Because Pisces gives emotionally, and Capricorn likes to take material. They like to take material, like material, anything of material factors, things that belong to this earth. So materially, or they'll use it, and then it's like strategically they'll use it. See, so why is it hidden? Because the whole power imbalance that hides the intent of that Capricorn. See, that's what a lot of people don't see, the intentions of a Capricorn earlier on, because the power imbalance. So they, a lot of times it's hidden. It's what you can't see. Now, Libra, why they may be why they are considered a hidden enemy for Pisces? Because the conflict avoidance, see, from a Libra, and the fact that they may use the whole imagery, um they'll try to like use the image management, see, making it seem like they know where to put everything, or hey, it looks good, or hey, let's keep it here. And it's like, hey, that alone can fool, that can make a Pisces trust them, in other words. So how does it happen? Libra agrees outwardly, but not inwardly. So that means that outwardly a Libra can pretend like, oh, that they like you. Um, you know, they can show kind gestures, they can say nice things to your face, but internally they can hate you, if that makes sense. And see, they can act differently behind the scenes. So from one person to the next, they could be like shooting the shits with you, small talking with you, hanging out with you, but then behind your back or to somebody else, they can be saying a whole totally different, totally different things. Now, why is it hidden? Because the Libra smiles to replace the honesty. See, it's cold-blooded, so you can't fall for the looks. Now, why these signs specifically of which I mentioned is because they operate indirectly. See, and also they care about control, perception, or security. See, and also they avoid open confrontation. So that's why they're hidden. And this is the reason why I chose these signs. Now, another thing too, that's just the whole 12th house behavior, you guys, altogether. The 12th house behavior, of which I mentioned, which is funny, goes to those signs. See, now the 7th house, when we talk about open enemies, which is the visible conflict, the 7th house, what rules opponents, legal enemies, breakups, one-on-one rivalries. These are your open enemies when it comes to the 7th house. Now, for Pisces, Virgo rules the 7th house. See? Now, here's the thing. Most common open enemies for Pisces, as I mentioned, are Virgo is number 1. Now, why? It's because logic versus emotions. Another thing, order versus chaos. And see, how does this play out? It's because the open criticism that happens. Let's say, the Virgo would tell the Pisces that, oh, you're unrealistic. See? Or hey, you don't save your money, or those type of things. And then they may, have the whole direct confrontation. And that'll happen between you and a Virgo. You will feel it coming, Pisces, when you will know when a Virgo and you are about to, butt heads or whatnot. Now, what you got to remember is that this is open warfare. See, it's not hidden. That's why it's your open enemy. And see, the next open enemy is Gemini. Gemini, why? Because it's words versus feelings. And then there's inconsistencies versus intuition. So how does this play out? Well, guess what? You and the open enemy Gemini, both of you will have arguments, miscommunications, and then public disagreements. So that's how you will know. The next open enemy is Sagittarius. And when you're dealing, and why is this? Because with Sagittarius, it's going to be about the brutal honesty, not having a filter or watching what they say. Also, it's going to be the philosophical clashes that would take place between you and the Sag. Also, how does this play out? Well, a Pisces can feel invalidated. See, and then at the same time, a Sagittarius can feel restricted around a Pisces. Now, Aries is another open enemy. So the thing about it, as you guys know, with Aries is, it tends to be the same situation as it always is. They challenge Pisces, and that would be someone of an open enemy. Now we're going to talk about Pisces and enemies. Like I say, real example, we're going to talk about the behaviors. Now, another thing is that when it comes to 12th house enemies, just to give you guys ultimate, what to look for. Smiles in your face, moves in silence. Never forget it. And like I say, how they behave is, hey, they agree publicly, but undermine you privately. See the difference? They drain emotional energy without confrontation. They keep secrets, have truths, or just shifting the stories around. And also they play the victim when confronted. See? So that's what to look for when it comes to 12th house enemies, the hidden enemies. So as we mentioned, Cancer, never forget it. And Cancer is considered the emotional saboteur, okay? Meaning they're the ones that can just emotionally sabotage you. Example is that you open up to a Cancer about a goal that you have, and then the next thing you know, the Cancer tries to act as if they support you. But later on, that same Cancer ends up guilt tripping you, and then all of a sudden they say, snide comments to you. They're like, hey, I guess, hey, you don't need me anymore. See? So it's like, damn, you trying to control me at the same time. Next thing you know, they try to share your vulnerability with other people out of concern about what's going on with you. See? And then they pull the whole affection without even explaining why. So That's what you gotta watch out for, because what tends to happen through the cycling is the behavior patterns that tend to coexist with it. It's the passive aggressive that you feel from a Cancer, the emotional withholding, see, and the guilt. They use it as control. So, hey, be careful with that Cancer now. The next one is Scorpio, silent power player. So this, hey, Scorpio can use silence too, because why? You may have trust that Scorpio with that personal info just by, oh, they appear to be quiet. Oh, I thought I could trust this the Scorpio because he didn't look like he would, go around talking to everyone. But later on, they use the silence to punish you. See, that's the difference. See, they bring up the old wounds and the traumas during unrelated arguments. See, or they just make you feel exposed but dependent upon them. Because a lot of times a Scorpio will manipulate you by doing everything for you, even if you don't ask for it, even if you didn't ask for help. They'll just help you, but they'll try to use it as control and leverage later. See, and they can become very obsessed with that too. Now, the behavior pattern is the fact that Scorpio would try to keep emotional leverage at all times, 24/7 with you, Pisces. Another thing, they will test your loyalty repeatedly. See, by probing, they don't let go. They won't stop. They just keep coming, just like Freddy Krueger. Also, it's like they try to control through the intensity. So they like to amp things up and, crank the heat up in order to maintain dominance and control. Now, the next one is Virgo. Virgo is considered what? The quiet underminer. Okay. Now, Virgo, why I keep saying Virgo, because these are different arsenal and ways that they're going to try to get you, Pisces. And it's because the example, hey, they'll help, hey, listen, they will help you improve. Yes, but there's a big but in the middle of our faces now. Constantly pointing out your flaws while trying to, while trying to act like, oh, I'll help you improve. It's like, okay, well, where's all this criticism coming from? And on top of that, they compare you to others very easily. Well, hey, but your dad, hey, did this and that and wooty woo. And then they would say things like, oh, I'm just being honest, though. I'm just being honest. And these are behavior patterns that you got to watch out for, because all those things of which they're criticizing you for are micro criticisms. Next thing you know, they use the judgment, but they mask it as logic. And then all of a sudden they use the whole confidence aspect, but it almost feels like erosion. Okay, so it's like a confidence erosion that takes place. So it's very, very toxic. You got to be careful, because as much as they say that they're helping you improve, Pisces, they're secretly undermining you. See, and they doing that publicly, and you got to be careful with that. Now, Capricorn is considered the strategic user. Everybody knows that the biggest users of the Zodiac, Capricorn. See, Capricorn, why? The example, they rely on your emotional support during hard times. See, but later on, this is what they do to you. This is how they trick you. They withdraw when you need their help. See, when you need their help, they withdraw. You can't find them. You can't get a hold of them. Then also, they use your ideas for their own gain. See, so they'll steal your project. They'll steal your goal. They'll steal whatever it is, type of business adventures, your boyfriend, hey, your soon to be girlfriend, or somebody you may have told that Capricorn, hey, this is gonna be my wife someday. They'll try to take that girl from you, or that man from you, whoever you told them about. Anything related to your plans. Next thing you know, they will try to, act superior once they're stable. See? So you gotta be careful. You don't want to give all the keys to a Capricorn, because they're gonna act like Thanos. As soon as they get, a promotion, they're gonna act like, oh, like once they get stable, they try to act like they all superior, like they could just, so you gotta be careful. The behavior patterns is, very transactional when it comes to loyalty. See? So they treat everything like a business, almost like, oh, you're just dealing with your boss, but that's supposed to be your boyfriend. Now, another thing is the fact that they also have the emotional detachment. See? And see, another thing is they can also use it to coincide with power imbalance. See? Very tricky. Now, Libra is considered the two-faced peacemaker. Why? Because they agree with you privately, cold-blooded, not openly. And see, the thing about it is they may say the opposite to others. See? And then they avoid defending you. See? Another thing is that they try to keep harmony at your expense. See? So the behavior pattern here is the conflict avoidance, the image over truth, and indirect betrayal. Why? Because they're doing everything to protect their image. See? Now, seventh house open enemies, well, they will tell you to your face. See? That's the difference. Seventh house open enemies, I'm going to tell you how they behave though. It's through direct confrontation, verbal challenges, and clear opposition. These are the ones that let you know they don't like you. These are the ones that are very direct in your face about it. See? And who else gets the plaque for this? Virgo. Virgo is also considered the open critic. See? The one that busts you out, tells all your flaws and all your dirty little secrets and things about you, your flaws. So when it comes to Virgo being an open critic, an example would be the fact they can say something to you, Pisces, like, oh, you're too emotional. And hey, that doesn't make sense when you say things. And also the behavior patterns regarding a Virgo could be considered, logical dominance. Having logical dominance in a situation, or public correction, or just direct criticism altogether. So watch out for it. Next, Gemini, verbal manipulator. See, example of a verbal manipulative verbal manipulative Gemini is the fact that they may have arguments, but they're going in circles about it. Okay, so a lot of times they may change the story, or they may gaslight unintentionally, or they may say one thing but mean another. The behavior patterns here is the fact that they may play mental games, see, or just be inconsistent altogether, or they may just use confusion through words, see. And then Sagittarius is like considered the blunt challenger. And what they may do is, they may even say this to a Pisces: you're overthinking everything. That's not even reality. They'll challenge you on everything you say, Pisces. And the thing about it is their behavior patterns that they're using is brutal honesty, or they might use it as a philosophical superiority, or trying to make it seem like they know more than you, or hey, they already studied it, or they done it first, or hey, they try to make you feel stupid. Another thing they may use is like emotional invalidation. So that's something to pay attention to. Now, Aries, I didn't really say much about the other situation, but when it comes to them being an open enemy and saying something to your face, being direct with it, well, Aries is considered the aggressive opponent. Here, an example will the Aries will raise their voice when they speak to you. They may, they can have a temper tantrum. They could push boundaries, and they could demand answers, like basically trying to, yelling and screaming, saying, "Oh, I need it now. I needed to know now. I'm not waiting." And very impatient. Another thing too, behavior patterns with Aries is that they could be impulsive. They can have so much impulsive behaviors that, hey, if they were to jump off a diving board, they won't even give a damn if there's water in the pool to catch them. Now, another thing is they may use, domination attempts to actually check to see if they are still dominant in the situation, the relationship, the friendship, or just concerning you. Also, they can have the whole conflict escalation. So a lot of times when you get into it with an Aries, they can actually, it could be an all-out war between the two of you. They can escalate the conflict between the two of you. It could be a situation that don't even, amount to that. They take it too far. And see, now we're gonna talk about the sixth house enemies. Okay, so sixth house, when you look at the sixth house, it's almost like the halfway house. You know how everybody goes to eat there or whatnot. So you can look at the sixth house as a daily workplace where all your enemies hang out and eat at. Okay. That's the best way to put it for people to understand it in the best way. Okay. I know it's petty, but it's draining at the same damn time. So that's how it feels when you're dealing with these workplace enemies with the sixth house. Okay. So how they behave. micromanaging you, following you around, trying to tell you what to do and how to dress and how to eat and trying to suggest things to you, how you should be, nitpicky, and just trying to sabotage your whole routine, Pisces. So this is how the daily workplace enemies is how I wrote it. And this is considered to the sixth house, okay? Now, when it comes to these signs I'm mentioning, Leo. Now, it's almost like Leo is your rivalry, okay? Ego rival. And see, the thing about it is, what does this mean for Leo? Leo would try to take credit for all your ideas, Pisces. So be careful. Don't go around telling all your plans and ideas and, accomplishments to a Leo, because you end up finding out that they will be your ego rival. See, also the Leo, they need validation. Also, they compete for attention. See, the behavior pattern here is they also like to steal the spotlight from you, Pisces. And then also the pride clashes. You see, when you embarrass them, that pride kick in. Like you shifting gears, in other words. Then you had the subtle rivalry, as I mentioned. It's like, oh, now we into it. Like, oh, now you the one that I'm going up against. See, so now the next thing is that I have Taurus is considered the stubborn resistor. See, ain't nobody else stubborn like a Taurus. The example here is that they can refuse to change. Hey, they can block progress. That goes into sabotaging your situation, dismissing your intuition, saying is bullshit. That's how a Taurus will come at you, Pisces. Next thing you know, the behavior patterns that will happen will be the whole passive resistance, comfort over growth, silent obstructions. So it could be a mess. Now, Aquarius could be considered the emotional detachment as well, but it doesn't hit how Pisces does it. Now, it's not stronger than Pisces when they do the emotional detachment. But what can happen here is that the Aquarius, like I said, they can dismiss feelings as irrational. See, and then they can go cold during stressful times. Another thing with their behavior patterns is emotional distance. Remember, we had the emotional distancing. Hey, I said emotional distancing, but what it was the it wasn't called emotional distances. It was like the distancing when we all had to, like, we couldn't go work and do, we had the social distancing. That's what it was. But hey, if you do the emotional distancing, it could feel the same way just without the emotions. Now, another behavior pattern of Aquarius is an intellectual superiority. So they can act like, oh, they know everything. You can't tell it any different. And they could just have the lack of empathy, not giving a damn. Now, how does Pisces spot these enemies very quickly? Okay. Your hidden enemy, number one sign to spot a hidden enemy is the fact that you will feel confused, Pisces, drained, or just doubting yourself. That's how you know you've been around a hidden enemy. See, open enemy sign, you will feel challenged. See, you will feel defensive. You will feel triggered. That's how you know you've been around an open enemy. And then how you will feel when you're around a daily enemy is the fact that you just feel exhausted over the small things. See, so I'm gonna just tell you guys another most dangerous trait of Pisces is is the empathy. The empathy without boundaries is the most dangerous trait that a Pisces has. And I'm gonna tell you why. See, enemies thrive when Pisces gives without limits. See, you have to have a boundary set there. When you give, you don't give it all, Pisces. Also, you can't avoid confrontation all the time. See, so don't, when you get caught up in this whole thing with saying, oh, I avoid all the conflicts and all, everything that comes at me, that's not good. Can't avoid every confrontation. And the next thing is hopes people will change. That also, is the most dangerous trait that a Pisces can have. Is hoping that everybody is, hoping people will change. And yeah, they can defend people that are supposed to be incarcerated, or just dealt with, or just, accountability in itself. Sometimes some Pisces can say, well, hey, you know, pipe down such and such. Like, hey, give them a break, because Pisces supports the underdog. See, so So the reality check here is that not every person of these signs is an enemy. I will say that as a disclaimer, you know, but when the pattern fits, hey, the house explains it, how they operate and that's what I just told you guys. So if the shoe fits, then the pattern fits. Hey, I just told y'all how it goes. So that way I don't want to hear nobody in the chat talking about, oh man, my cousin Ray Ray, he doesn't do that. Oh yeah, my mom, she doesn't talk to me like that. She doesn't do that. Well, like I said, man, if the pattern fits, I just explained how the house explains how they operate. Now, another thing too is that let me see. We're gonna talk about. I'm giving y'all some bonus content here, as I always do every night. I always throw some extra content in there for y'all. Now, the difference between Pisces sun versus moon versus rising. Okay, and I'm gonna break this down. Okay, so like when people refer to a Pisces sun, that's your core identity. Okay, it's who you are at your center. You know, so what this means is that goes from empathy as your identity. See, boundary issues if you're undeveloped. See, when we say, oh, you're undeveloped, these terms that we use when we say, oh, you're not developed, or hey, a unhealed Pisces, I'm breaking all this shit down to y'all because y'all be thinking that, oh, somebody's picking on somebody, and that's not the case. I don't do that on my channel, pick on people or trying to make people feel bad for, being undeveloped or, being a downstream, you know what I mean? Going downstream, that is not something that I'm making fun of. I'm just giving you guys the explanations behind what this stuff means, okay? Now, boundary issues if you're undeveloped, okay? Now, another thing is idolize yourself as a savior or martyr. Some Pisces are like that. Another thing is the shadow side. People may refer to Pisces as the dark side or the shadow side. And what that means is, that Pisces may be more prone to escapism or self-justification. Now, when it's corrupted, that's when, that person may feel deeply, you know, whatever the situation may be. And hey, maybe they may feel that their actions are justified in a situation. But we can't say, oh, that would be more related to the sun sign. Now, Pisces moon. When it comes to Pisces moon, this is all about how you process your emotions. See, so you may feel and react in these ways where I appreciate that Discover Top. He said, will a Libra try to ruin your life for years? Are they you said Helios? Um, I would say they won't try to ruin your life for years after they get their lick back. It's like once they get back at you, then it's kind of like they might not trust you anymore. Now that's the thing. They will not trust you. I will say they will not trust you anymore, even after they get their lick back. Because so they will still save face and still talk to you nicely, smile in your face. They'll still chop it up with you, have the long talks that you guys have, but internally they would not trust you again after, so that's something to pay attention to. I appreciate the super chat, Discover top 10. You said 104. Now, with a Pisces moon, it's the fact this is how you process your emotions, how you feel and react. Now, the thing about it is a Pisces moon, they absorb emotional just like the atmosphere, okay? So when it comes to a Pisces moon, they get easily overwhelmed by things. See? Another thing is they have a dissociation under stress. And another thing is that they have a strong fantasy life. See? So those are like the top feelings of like how they process their emotions when you have Pisces moon. Now, another thing is when corrupted though. See, when a Pisces moon is corrupted, they can have emotional flooding going on. See, And what this means is it's related to numbness and detachment towards situations. So that's why when you're dealing with a Pisces moon, if they're corrupted, they can not give a damn. They cannot care about like stuff that you would assume they should care about. See, because they can have a numbness like no other, like frostbite, just don't feel nothing. See, so you gotta be careful when how it's placed. Now we're gonna talk about Pisces rising. Okay, Pisces rising is how you move through the world. Okay, now Pisces rising is considered the shapeshifter energy. See, so this is when okay, if you got Pisces rising, man, this is a very powerful placement because you could appear harmless, soft and spiritual, but man, you could be somebody to not be even right. Hey, you could be somebody that nobody shouldn't even be messing with. You know what I mean? So it's like you come off, you can appear to be harmless and soft, but no. See, that ain't how it is. But see, the thing about it is people project onto you easily when you have Pisces rising. See, so you might be the type of person that always gets accused, bullied, picked on. Like it's always people coming at you. See, instead of coming with you or connecting to you, it's like people are just coming with it's like they just coming after you. Like what's that movie Black Panther? It's like people just charging after you with just trying to hurt you. But here's the thing: when corrupted, you could have that camouflage. That's what I said. See, you can have that deception. That's where people assume you to be one way, but then you catch them by surprise. See, and why is this? Because of double life. You could live a double life when you have Pisces rising. So I just explained all three to you guys. Now there's an important distinction here because most Pisces, as I mentioned, are not dangerous, but unhealed Pisces. Now I'll say this again: unhealed Pisces placements represent traumas and lack of accountability, and that can distort empathy into something dark. See, this is when we start talking about uh Richard Ramirez and John Wayne Gacy's, those type individuals. And see, when it comes to this, it's almost at a high level when this happens. So when we talk about John Wayne Gacy and Richard Ramirez, see, we gonna just look at we gonna look at the identity, the core of these individuals was with heavy dark psychological factors at hand with these two individuals. See, these Pisces wasn't operating just off using tactics. They were using the illusions. See, they were running the cycles. That is cold blooded because they're running the cycles, and that's why they were hard to catch because, as I mentioned, as I explained, the cycles, what you can't see subconsciously, are patterns. Cold blooded. See, now John Wayne Gacy, okay, he was controlled by what? The shadow side of what Pisces represents. Cold blooded. See, he was the type of Pisces that, hey, he wasn't a dominant, he wasn't a moon dominant, but he was more prone to that primary distortion. You see what I'm saying? Where he will compartmentalize his emotions. Man, bro, compartmentalizing your emotions as a shadow side Pisces, do you know what that looks like? That's like Jason Voorhees, man. That's like somebody that will just walk around and can take so many hits and just really unfazed by everything thrown at him. See, but at the same time, sitting up there, KOing everybody off with their heads, like NLE Chopper and Young Boy walking around with other people's heads. That's the type of energy with John Wayne Gacy. See, and the thing about it is the traits that he misused. See, Pisces has the ability to separate realities. Man, let me stop. See, the thing about it is, Pisces, see, that's why I tell people you cannot, it's hard to understand a Pisces when they get, when they go to that shadow side. It's not about light and dark, fam. It's a person that can separate the realities. See, they can create mask through what? Community figures versus the hidden self. See, the hidden self can be a reality that nobody knows about. But a Pisces can separate them within themselves. So when it comes to their whole rationalized behavior, it's internally. So that means you could be an all out demon inside and wreaking havoc on the outside, man, like no other. And that's why people will say, dang, this person was just an evil. No, it's more than that. This is not something that's psychologically done. No. And see, he could have had suppressed guilt rather than just being emotionally driven to do all the exploding that he did. People would say, dang, he lost his noodles. No, he didn't. He cooked them and then he fried them. So he suppressed the guilt rather than emotional exploding. But at the same time, you got to understand that when you suppress guilt, it still leaks. See? And at the same time, what do you guys think in the chat set off John Wayne Gacy? What do you think just made him just go haywire? Just say, F this, I'm finna just start, tearing it up, tearing there, doing all these heinous crimes and stuff, right? Why do y'all think he did that? What set him off? I'm gonna tell you. Number one, he was a Pisces sun. Pisces sun, but what set him off? I'm gonna tell y'all, number one, power. See? Power, control, opportunity, secrecy, and feeling untouchable. I told you guys that the Pisces ego is the biggest ego out of all the Zodiac. He didn't see, the thing about people think that he emotionally snapped. No, he didn't. He was emotionally fueled and he used that as energy, but he wanted to be untouchable. Cold-blooded, see? Because with Pisces that looks at themselves as such becomes what? They transform into something bigger. So if a Pisces says, I want to be a villain, a Pisces going to be a villain times 10. The biggest villain. Because the why? Pisces what? Represents what? What is the motto of Pisces? I believe, right? So that's a manifestation. So when you dealing with what a Pisces will put or think of themselves, that becomes the manifestation. And it becomes the biggest manifestation because the Pisces is putting what? Power first. Control second. Opportunity and secrecy. So it's like, it's like a person putting together a monster, building a monster like Frankenstein. How Frankenstein, anybody watch Frankenstein? It's like, it's like a bad, situation that ends up erupting, evolving into. You manifest something that is going to be a monster because that's what you looking at. It's like you looking to be that. So feeling untouchable is the ego. See, he created a monster within his own self and was able to separate the two realities. So you don't see what he sees. That's why I said the punishment didn't do nothing to him because he separated the realities. See, now here's the thing. this is the Pisces. This is dissociation taken to an extreme. So we're talking about the extremes. Now the funny thing is that these extremes apply to realities. A Pisces can have an extreme reality to how things should go. That may, hey, you don't know what that may consist of. And then at the same time, John Wayne Gacy had emotional numbness. See, that's what I said, the Jason Voorhees energy. Jason Voorhees being hit upside the head with all kind of heavy metals and still what? Unfazed. So the emotional numbness, it's not emotional chaos. No, it was emotional numbness. He didn't feel anything. See, because he was already internally something different. So if a Pisces believes that they're a menace, they're going to be that 10 times, bro, on a whole nother level. That's why we had people like Bin Laden. See, as soon as the Pisces feel like the Pisces is more, when if they go to the shadow side, it's a whole different ball game. It's not like, oh yeah, it's just a feeling. No. Could you imagine had they not even captured Bin Laden, what could have happened? Bro, you know, hey, I'm gonna do a video about that too. But here's the thing. Now we're gonna talk about Richard Ramirez. He was considered the chaotic Pisces coming from the shadow side. See, the type of Pisces he was more of, he was a Pisces sun, but he had the heavy emotional instabilities, which what led to primary distortion. And then he also had the absorption plus the whole identity collapsing. See, the thing about it wasn't that he forgot who he was. See, he tried to absorb to make who he wanted to be. He tried to absorb all of which would apply. See, those emotional instabilities. Now, what I'm saying is he misused the traits though. At the same time, he went to the shadow side. Now, what does that mean? The traits he misused was extreme suggestibility. See, fantasy merging with fantasy, because everybody know that Richard Ramirez, where did he like to go? To the graveyard to hang out and chill. See, so that means that he was fantasizing about these particular areas, these locations. He was obsessed with symbolism. That's why I said, like, bro, like whatever a Pisces absorbs becomes energy. See, and then it's all how you use that energy as a Pisces. Now, the next thing, escapism through ideology and substances. See, people don't know that he was under those substances now. See, so he was a different type of breed from John Wayne Gacy is why I'm explaining this. Now, what set him off? See, now I ain't talking about no X-Men. I'm talking about these were the these were the Pisces that were like, they did some awful things, put it like that. But what set Richard Ramirez off? See, now what set him off was he was emotionally overloaded. See, this is what set him off. He emotionally just could he got overwhelmed emotionally is what why he did what he did. The next thing, he lost his identity. You remember I said the worst thing for a Pisces to do is lose their identity. See, if you lose direction and you lose why are you here? You don't know your purpose, bro. That is not where you want to be, because Richard Ramirez, like I say, mostly overloaded, identity confusion, external influences. See, he went around asking, see, that's the thing. He was influenced by, external situations and people. because he lost his identity. He didn't know who he was anymore. And see, he had a lack of what? Grounding. So what did that make him do? Remember I said with sharks, they keep swimming. They don't stop swimming. See? And so when there's a lack of grounding there, that means that he's looking for trouble. See? Now here's the thing. This type of Pisces that he was more what? Related to fluidity, flooding. See? Not control. So it's like he spazzed out and he just he lost self-control. See? A shark that loses that loses control of himself has the what? Tendency to hurt people. Yes. So this means that he was what? Impulsive, erratic, and emotionally driven. Now, do you see what happens to a Pisces when they lose control? See? When they lose it, they become a Richard Ramirez. And see, who was worse between Richard Ramirez and John Wayne Gacy? I say, hey, chat, what y'all think? Who y'all think was the worst one? I want to hear what y'all think. Who's the worst one? Well, I'll tell you. I'm not trying to make it a contest or nothing like that. I'm just telling you guys, like, you know, explaining pretty much like the difference in danger types. Okay, so somebody said John Wayne Gacy. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all, John Wayne Gacy, he was more calculated, concealed, he had the concealment and long-term deception. Because even when he got what he I think, yeah, he got the chair, he got the execution when, and even then he still would fess up why he had no remorse, but it was all deception the whole time. See, because he did everything because he wanted to. See, so there was long-term deception with him. Ramirez was more what? The type of Pisces that was chaotic, unpredictable, and emotionally volatile. Okay, but when you look at it from a psychological lens, what it really when you really look at both of them, one represent what? The control disassociation, and then the other represented the emotional fragmentation. Okay, so that's when like, okay, Pisces ain't nothing to play with, fam. Like, cause the emotions are powerful enough, and if a Pisces get overwhelmed by it, it's the type of damage that they can do. I'm gonna do a reaction video to this one Pisces that actually he went to he ran over like, man, hundreds of people at the parade. Oh my God. Then he had the nerve to try to represent himself in court. And he didn't want no public no attorney or public defender. So he wanted to represent himself. And I gotta show y'all that, because that Pisces, you could just look at him and he didn't have no freaking he had no emotions in his face. Like, this dude had a straight face and he literally ran these people over and still thought that he had a chance. Like, I'm like, bro, that's crazy. That gotta be some heavy fantasy, dreaming type of vibes going on with him. But another thing, what is all this? Like I say, teach Pisces all together, you guys, is like I say, Pisces' greatest gift is empathy. In case anybody wants to know, the greatest when it comes to the greatest danger is disconnecting empathy. When you no longer care about others and you like, I don't give a damn how people feel and whoop, that's when things could get ugly, okay? And that is disconnecting the empathy from what? Accountability. See? And that will actually be a major red flag for a Pisces, because that's like, you don't want that to happen to you. Now, warning signs for any Pisces is what? Feeling emotionally numb. Pay attention to that. If that's happening to you, if you feel like that, Pisces, pay attention because that's a warning sign. Um, living in fantasy to avoid pain, or justifying harm internally, or just avoiding reality checks. See, or just refusing to, grounding or structure altogether. Because if you don't, let's say you say, I don't give a damn about that. You just might be the next John Wayne Gacy. You might just be the next Richard Ramirez if you don't check on yourself. You see? Now, when it comes to a healthy Pisces and them using the alchemy, to transmute, well, guess what? This is all done by creative expression, spiritual discipline, not escapism. See, a healthy Pisces actually faces the very things that, the disadvantages and, the situations itself. They don't try to escape from it. Also, a healthy Pisces uses boundaries and they actually make strong ones. Also, they are accountable, see, for the things they do, and they don't try to, run from it. Now, the next thing is they have grounded routines, which is very important for a healthy Pisces. So we actually do have some healthy Pisces. Yeah, give it up. Give it up for the Pisces. Hey, you got some healthy Pisces that know all of us are not the Richard Ramirez types or the John Wayne Gacy's. Okay. Now, that's the thing. I want to thank everybody for coming out watching this live. I told y'all I gave y'all a lot of content. And hey, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, smash that like button. Let's get this to 100 likes. I would appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all on tomorrow with the next one. Peace out, love y'all, and thanks for watching.